This is the nickel defense. You've probably heard a lot about it on TV broadcasts, but it's really this simple. One defense with 5 defensive backs. 2 corners, 2 safeties, and a nickelback. More than probably anything else, defensive football in 2017 is defined by the versatility and usage of guys like Notre Dame's Drew Tranquill, Texas's P.J. Locke, and Virginia Tech's Mook Reynolds. You may not have heard of these guys, but here's what they're capable of with their speed, instincts, and power to disrupt modern college football offenses. Here's Tranquill running stride for stride with a running back 4 inches shorter than him. Here's Locke showing the power to take on a block, shed it, and make a tackle for loss. And here's Reynolds' raw speed to rocket into the backfield and blow up a play. Nickelbacks are the defense's wild card. Some are bigger bodies that have the speed to defend the pass, but the force to stop the run, like Tranquill. Sometimes teams will roll out a straight third cornerback as its nickel, like Reynolds or Locke. But there's a Swiss Army knife nature to the position. On the same play, a nickel must sometimes see the game like a safety, move like a corner, and hit like a linebacker, all in the span of about 7 seconds. Traditionally, defenses lined up in either a 4-3 or a 3-4 base alignment with 2 corners and 2 safeties. When defenses needed to, usually for obvious passing situations, they would bring in the nickel as a substitute package. That would mean taking a lumbering linebacker off of the field and replacing him with a faster defensive back. It typically looks like a 4-2-5 or a 3-3-5 on the chalkboard. TCU coach Gary Patterson has been working with the 4-2-5 look for quite a while, and the Frogs get so fancy with it that they'll have 3 DBs on one side of the field playing one coverage style, while the other 2 play another. The 3-3-5, on the other hand, was popularized by, among others, USF coach Charlie Strong. But its origins go back to 1991, when former Memphis defensive coordinator Joe Lee Dunn needed a way to stop USC's option attack. The Tigers sprung the nickel variant on the Trojans and landed the upset. The prevalence of spread systems that started really becoming in vogue around the 1980s with offenses like the run and shoot created a problem for defenses. If offenses are going to line up more often in the shotgun with 4 and sometimes 5 wide receivers, then defenses needed to change. It's increasingly common to see teams lining up in a nickel a majority of the time, and at this point, you could call it the new base defense. Back in 2012, Alabama coach Nick Saban admitted that he only lines up in his base 3-4 20% of the time. Now you can find the nickel position listed in some teams' depth chart, including Bama's. Those are both blue-chip recruits at Alabama's nickel role, the position they call the star. What started as a variation of common defenses is now the norm thanks to the need to adjust to offenses. So pay attention to these do-everything guys. They're your defense's not-so-secret weapon.
Athletic ability. It's always fun to see those hybrid outside linebacker, nickelback type guys asked to make tackles out in space. That time he didn't hesitate, closed that cushion up, and made a heck of a play.